day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of CoinNewsExtraTv interview session, a program where we invite innovators, stakeholders, influencers in the blockchain, crypto, and fintech ecosystem to come add their view and state of the ecosystem. So today, we are talking about gold standard for digital money and quantum cyber security. Joining us to discuss this amazing topic is Amnon, Samid, CEO of Bitmint, joining us all the way from Israel. You are welcome, Amnon.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to join you here. I will be very happy to share with your audience from our really vast and long experience in cybersecurity, digital money, and so forth. Thank you.
Okay, let's go straight to the discussion. We have a lot to talk about. This is an interesting topic. So let's look at what's quantum cyber security. A lot of questions. Some people may not understand more what when you're talking about quantum cyber security. A lot of things we have heard about quantum computer and all the rest of them. So what's quantum cyber security?
Okay, it's not an easy question to answer, but I will try to make it simple, not get too much into science and technology. I would like to make some important distinction between sequential computation and parallel computation. What you have today in cryptography, or the present-day cryptography, is based on complexity. In an exponential key. I assume you realize that everyone that is dealing with cryptography or crypto assets realize that every bit that you add doubles computational value. And this is what is called complexity class cryptography. But the problem is it thinks on the limitation of what is called the Turing machines, the conventional computers that are calculating in sequentially. But our nature, our ecosystem, it's based not on sequential, on parallelism. And quantum computers are also doing parallel computation, parallelism, which will be very easy for them to break the complexity cryptography, the things on, or the cryptocurrencies and stablecoins, blockchain, and CBDC, central bank digital currencies, hinged on this present-day cryptography. And this is the main threat. This is a crucial point because quantum computers that are in front of us, I don't know, 2 years from now or 10 years from now, but they are in front of us. They exploit this nature parallelism. And they will crack today cryptography, and they will crack today all today crypto assets, cryptocurrencies, blockchain. I'm not happy to bring this to our audience, but we have to face reality. But, and this is the important but, there are ways already now to mitigate this threat. Also, there are some vendors that say, okay, we built CBDC or cryptocurrencies. When quantum computers will arrive, we will add more layers, more complexity.
Sorry, I'm going. Hello, can you hear me? Let's look at gold standard for digital money, quantum cybersecurity. Let's look at what does that mean. When you talk about gold standard for digital money and quantum cybersecurity, what does that mean and how does it work? I guess this is two in one question.
Okay. I will make the connection. This is a good question, which relates to the first question that I did not have enough time to elaborate. But we have identified about 20 principles that it drives what we call standard for digital money. But I will start to make the relation between what we talked before in the former question and the current question, maybe with a quote from the World WF, the World Economic Forum, that says that quantum computing will ultimately impact all financial services, as it comprises major data encryption methodologies used today. Therefore, the threat of emerging quantum computers should be taken into account when choosing the cryptographic techniques used in the CBDC system. CBDC is central bank digital money. And I will start from this point because CBDC, actually any digital money, should not be based on algorithmic complexity, but on quantum randomness that is ready for quantum computers. Another important aspect or principle that relates to this golden standard of digital money is, if we talk about CBDC, the underlying foundation of a national digital money should be in a physical embodiment, not in bits. The server of the central bank, they should keep the money not in bits form, because bits could be hacked. Then it goes out, distribution, of course, based on bits. But the issuing should be, you make sure that the seed of digital currency are not based on digital bits. This is very crucial. Second issue, which relates to what I quoted from the WF, it relates to the public-private key, which, as you realize, Bitcoin, Ethereum, blockchain are all based on these architectures. But this architecture, as it is now, it suffers from algorithmic singularity vulnerability, which means it's a resting target for its attackers. And we have to make it, I don't want to go too much technology details, but you have to do it to introduce some mutation-empowered algorithmic platforms that will make the private public key algorithm changing all the time by the user itself. So the user has more control on its privacy, on its security, and is immune against the quantum computers. Another point, when you have digital money, it's important, like you have banknotes, to have identity and value separated but fused together. Like you have in banknotes, value and serial number. And when you don't use the sequence of the bits, like in Bitcoin, Ethereum, to represent the value, you can have features on the digital coin itself that you cannot have when you use the sequence of the bits to represent the value. For example, you can put terms of use on the coin itself, not on a DLT, on a blockchain, Ethereum, and so on the coin itself, if you want. By the way, if someone is interested, there is a book that is dealing with all these capabilities of tethered money. So I assume it can be downloaded from Amazon or wherever. Another feature that you can have, if you don't use a sequence of the bits to represent the value, you can split the coin. Splitting the coin by the app on the phone itself is very important for offline payment, for example. You're not dependent on the network, not dependent on the blockchain, because now, if you want to split the Ether or the Bitcoin, you need the network, you need the blockchain. If you can split it on your mobile app without network, this is a real advantage for offline payment. This is a real advantage for less computing power. This is a real advantage for having continuous payment. If you want to listen to podcasts, you want to watch a video stream, you want to charge your electric vehicle battery, you have to pay continuously. It's a battery per electrons that are getting into your car. You cannot do it real time with credit card or with Bitcoin or Ether.
Amnon, let me cut you short here because of our time. Let's look at you are the CEO of Bitmint. How are you making contribution in this ecosystem? You know, we're talking about gold standard for digital money and quantum cyber security. What are some of the contributions you are making?
First of all, to have full disclosure, I have to say that our team has. I'm not talking theoretically. Everything I'm saying now, all the wonderful features that you can have with digital money, we not only developed, we already built it and tested it since 2018 with the central bank and commercial bank. And it was proven to work according to the expectations. Banking stress test. I think something very important is that you have, when you talk about CBDC, for example, the central bank should issue the money and redeem the money. In between, the private sector, third parties, commercial bank, individuals will be able to add applications, to do the distribution, to protect their privacy. Of course, there should be a way, and there are ways that illegal activities will not be enabled. For example, you can add chain of custody on the coin itself. So only by court order, you can catch the coin on your mobile phone and see the history. Otherwise, you keep it anonymous, you keep your privacy. The most important things we see in many of the pilots, I think there are 9 or 10 pilots of CBDCs around the world, I think 4 of them in Africa. Most of them are based on this private-public key that is target to quantum computers, but most of them also require trade-offs. It's written in the official papers, not that I say so. Trade-offs between cyber resilience, ease of operation, level of process automation, and at least the pilots that we have done with the central bank does not need any trade-offs. You don't need any trade-off. And it should not be based on crypto, on the crypto technology. You should base the CBDC on quantum technology. In that way, you can have frictionless transactions. You can have ease of storage. You can tether the money. You can safeguard your privacy. And what is very important, you can reestablish the social bond between two strangers, like you have with cash now, only with cash now. Otherwise, you don't have it. And payment continuity is of utmost importance when you talk about CBDC. You need offline payments. You need a solution that you can have finality of payment when you do offline payment, not settlement after you are online again. Because again, in the few projects or pilots that are being conducted now, the solutions are limited in number of transactions, limited in value of transactions, because you don't have finality of payments in the offline solution. And the hard wallet, at least the ones that we are promoting, developed and promoting, have settlement, finality of settlement in offline mode. They are defense against counterfeiting. Double spending is prevented, of course. This is.
Amnon,
of course, yes.
Sorry, because of our time, I just have one more question here before we draw the curtain on today's episode of CoinNewsExtraTv interview session. I know you have a lot of things to talk, and this is a very interesting discussion because we are trying to make it concise for our audience. So that's why I'm trying to cut it short. So sorry about that. So what are some of the challenges facing the digital financial sector? And what's your closing remark about all this discussion?
Okay. What I've said now is only a glimpse into the essentials, but we need a quantum smart money and not a crypto based. When I'm talking about CBDC, private digital money is something different. CBDC the main challenge is to base it on quantum smart money and not on crypto technology, because then the entire national money could be compromised. This is a crucial national threat. And it should enable more diverse functionalities that the current crypto-minted digital money can offer. This is another challenge, and it's possible. Even the BIS and the WF, as I mentioned, are talking about this threat of the private public key that we have to deal with. And another challenge is to discriminate between ordinary law-abiding monetary privacy and criminals and abusive exploitations. We have to give privacy, but still to prevent criminal or AML and so on. Money is much more than doing payment. Money can do bad things, like many things in life, or people can use it for doing bad things. But money can be an agent for social justice and make the global community more inclusive, more equitable. So my last remark is, since money is rising to become such a powerful agent for social justice, let's do it right. Stable, versatile, simple. We at Bitmint, we are working on transforming the money towards becoming a tool, I would say, for a better tomorrow. And everyone can join us to this vision.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, thank you very much. Very amazing discussion and explanations. So sorry that we don't have a luxury of time for you to do more explanations around this topic, but I really appreciate the contributions you really made. Thank you very much. Amazing time out with Amnon, Samid, CEO of Bitmint, who joined us from Israel. Thank you very much, Amnon.
Thank you. Thank you.